about Vybz Kartel being the king of dancehall.
I gotta face that every day.
So that's a new thing.
He's lying.
Me I tell
Whatever.
I'm not gonna do a cartel though.
We are top about, bro.
Me not trust people. Me not gonna do that.
You just bad man.
You have to know that still. But this is Beenie Man, King of Dancehall.
So come on, bad man, and come down.
They up on the friend side, set legacy on benchmark, blast off like exile, my boss with the benchmark, they up on the friend side, set legacy on benchmark, blast off like exile, my boss with the benchmark, Got it, you know what I mean?
Alright, we'll go on YouTube. Let me say welcome to Friends Talk. You don't know it's a boy Larry yet. And we have Rue in our house as a co-host on this program. We are very excited with this particular initiative. I don't know if Rue have anything you want to add to, that minute form of introduction.
Well, with the year, you see me, as bro said, it's been a while, we are conceptualized, you see me. I know we are push forward with the action, you see me?
That is it.
Friends start, you see me, without no further ado, man, you see me? What you say, bro?
We can get tonight, no?
Yeah,
we can definitely get tonight, people. Today, we actually look on the big, I want to say quarrel in a sense, because it's almost like a quarrel that we are here on social media. Like, who is the king of the dancer? Is it have to lie, bro?
In a real life.
In a real life, bro. Mrs. Shades being thrown by being in a song, and I might play a small portion of that clip for you. I'm going to cut the video and put it in and you can see it. And then Mr. Teacher, because everybody's saying it's Kartel, or let me say Kartel is saying Kartel is a king of the dance.
Pretty much.
He, at one point, I can verbatimly recall him stating that being a bad mind.
And him also say, yo, Beenie, that's the manga always be Beenie. So I think him also knows, say, yo, regardless, Beenie I will come with this fire, this king, because he been holding on to the title King of the Dancehall
for as long as I can remember.
Exactly.
As long as we have sense enough to know what's going on around me. Beenie has been saying, my King of the Dancehall. But let me ask you, Rue. Who would you say? Is there one king? Because again, we can go from the monarchical framework, where within a monarchy, them say you have one king. You see what I'm saying? For me, paradigmically, we feel like we can shift it up a little bit. I don't think that we can just stick to just one monarch. Being that every major artist that we'll be naming out, asking the question, who is the king of dancehall, played a very pivotal role in influencing the culture.
And bringing it to the world.
Bringing it to the world. That is even a more larger aspect of the entire gamut of the question, who is the king of the dancehall. So here we are, viewers, if you've not yet subscribed to Friends Talk, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
No,
that's it.
God away and I
tap the notification bell so you can be informed whenever we drop another episode. But let me ask you, viewers, who y'all think is the king of the dancehall? Leave it in the comment section. But Rue, let me ask you, my bro, who is that?
Well,
is it still being defined at the moment? Or has somebody brought forth a more powerful definition in saying, okay, I am right now? See, because for me, I'll be honest with you. The reason why I would not, in this particular era, give it to Vybz Kartel is it, I could be wrong here, people. If no one chastises me, it's really up to me. This is my opinion. Nobody can beat my opinion. We can't beat me still, but it's not going to change, honestly. Is it? I don't think Vybz is really the king of dancehall for this era. I feel like his time is already gone. He's been dominant for 13 years, bro. 13 plus years. This man has been dominant.
Behind bars.
Behind bars. This man has been dominating the game. And even before he went behind bars, he has been dominating. So, I'm going to big him up on consistency. He is, alongside Massacre, one of the most, and no, I think at Chronicle right now.
Mm-hmm.
Those are our three most dominant artists, especially for this era that we're in right now.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I feel like Vybz time actually passed.
Mm-hmm.
That there was a time when Vybz was king. You see me? Early 2000.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like say, oh, Vybz didn't do it. You see me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 2006 for me, 2007, 2008.
Mm-hmm.
You see me? For me, that was Vybz time.
Mm-hmm.
You see me? Before that was Beenie. Beenie and Bunty, I don't know which one they want to pick out. Pick up it generally, you know. Because I don't want to take too much of the screen time, but I want to ask a question. What classification, what criteria are we going to use to judge kingship?
And that was to me answering the first question that you asked, who is the king of dancehall? And as for me, it's not a title that you can just put out there and you have to, there's different criterias, different facets of dancehall that creates that kingship in a sense. So for me, I would say the king of dancehall right now is Vybz Kartel. And why would I say he's the king of dancehall
Want a
right
justification
now?
to people, make him justify.
Because quintessentially he is dancehall. From the streets to commercial success, he has, without the same resources as individuals who has done it on a large platform like the Shaggies and the Sean Pauls and the Charlie Blacks, the Conscience as well, because there was a time when Conscience was basically right up to the neck of Vybz Kartel in terms of
there's a popularity stream
in terms of music hits,
yeah.
And this is right before he even went to jail. Conscience had some great hits that was very on par. In the same time with Fever, broke off your back, isn't it? And commercially, they had. It's probably a gold record right now if I'm not being mistaken. But in terms of Vybz Kartel, he has been able to attain the same level of success without having a US visa, being incarcerated for 13 years. He has still been able to be prolific in his music, be consistent in his content delivered to his fans. He has created a nation. He describes it as the Gaza nation.
Yeah.
However, that is me speaking from my personal opinion. But if I'm trying to look at the question on a holistic framework through broader lenses, I would have to say Kartel is the king of the street, the king of the people. That is what dancehall was, from the street dances, from the zinc fence, and you hear Kartel, zinc gunshot. However, he hasn't attained a lot of commercial influences or commercial success as a Sean Paul, as a Shaggy. And these individuals are mass columns, pillars in dancehall globally.
Because truthfully, let me say, whilst I do agree with you to an extent that Vybz is the king of the street on a more commercial level, because again, back to the question we ask, what criteria are we using, our criterions, to assign kingship? Is it the most hits, the most streams, platinum records? What are we using as the Rubicon to judge it? Truthfully, Charlie Black's are one of the biggest hits in the dance. Globally.
And commercially.
See, and also Shaggy's song, I think it was Me, just hit 1 billion streams also on Spotify.
And it's one of the most, what they call it, licensed song that is used in like music and shows and all those commercials and all those things.
So amidst the fact that Vybz has been consistent in putting out hits, the question is how far has those hits gone? How much impact has those hits made, not just on Jamaica? Because if Jamaica is just the rubric we are use, nobody knows Vybz. I'm going to be honest with you.
Truly.
Isn't it?
Or the diaspora.
The diaspora. Isn't it? I said nobody know me Vybz.
He's massive in the diaspora.
Yeah, bro. Nobody know me Vybz. But if I'm not gonna go beyond just our diaspora and look at the impact on a world level, isn't it? I said if you say my world boss, you have people's music who has outdone him from a numeral. I want to say numerological perspective or a numeral perspective. Isn't it? I said the numbers, as Popcorn said, numbers don't lie, bro.
Like Sean Paul have probably over like 7-8 billion streams on his music, like but also you can look at this too, that most of Kartel music that was done years ago is not on streaming platforms. Sean Paul, Shaggy, they always had the opportunity to, they was always backed by a label. So they were always selling like records, hard copy, Kartel singles, most of them weren't like, most of the singles found out they probably have copyright infringements and all those things because they weren't released properly. So you realize since he has came out, he has been trying to get these songs back on streaming platforms. He's like releasing like compilations but these individuals have been selling records from selling records days.
Understood.
You see me? Massively. You see me? Like, so I do agree in the sense that he hasn't attained that level international success
as other counterparts.
However, he's still able to do so.
I mean,
with his current catalog and situation. If he gets a distribution deal and definitely gets a touring deal, he's definitely gonna go into the spaces that he wasn't able to go into before.
Understood.
And
people, let me ask again. I mean, I did pose a question earlier on, but if y'all have any other names that we have not yet mentioned in this discourse, go ahead and do so. Because for me, there are more names that I want to throw out there. For one, I think Popcorn is also an honorable mention for King of Dancehall right now. Check out
Massacre.
Check out the influence that Popcorn has on not just the dialect, the slangs what he introduced.
Culturally, he's ingrained in Jamaican popular culture.
Yeah, and Popcorn has been giving us hits too. The man have hits after hits, people. So definitely, we can say Popcorn.
So it comes back right to what you were saying earlier. The criteria is when looking in eras.
That again.
Because
again, I believe like from a more era perspective, we can find different monarchs of the music. You see? There was a time when, for me, Beenie was king. No, I mean, nobody could outdo him in that performance. I mean, that man could perform. Then there was a time when Elephant Man came, and I mean, everybody knew what Elephant.
And at the time when Elephant came, it's arguable to say he outdid in terms of performance.
Beenie Man?
More than what Beenie Man did.
Yeah,
because he was on BET. He brought that in terms of craftsmanship on the stage. He's like, Ninja Man, of course. Like they brought it and all of that with the advent of Sting and the Clashes and the wardrobe and the cause. But he brought in that craftsmanship, that performance, like like an international type vibe.
Yeah, understood.
And it's only like Spice who kind of came after and kind of
curtail in that same frame.
Yes.
So as I said, people, again, if there's any honorable mentions that I've missed, go ahead and leave them in the comment section, because more want to read the comment section, more hear what I have to say. Was there ever, I'm posing a question to the audience, was there ever a time that Alka
was the king of the dancehall?
And we're speaking from a era perspective, that he dominated, because there was a time when Alka run was crazy.
Alka basically ushered in new modern dancehall. So and not necessarily him alone.
Yeah, because
Vybz Kartel, the Idonians, they were ushering the new, the basically Kartel and Wayne Marshall said new millennium type of.
That is it. Because again, Alkaline again. I'm going from another perspective here. It just come to my mind. You also have to remember that sometimes there are smaller players on the field that create the moves that set up the scorer to score the goal. You see me? And it could be just one little fancy flick when you do. You see me? I say?
Or a dummy.
Or a dummy. But that create the catalyst for everything that we have now.
For change.
For change. And again, that small catalyst, it might not get the notice that it should get. And in this aspect, I talk about the sound that dancehall took on through even Black Rhino. Remember I said Rhino style changed dancehall forever, bro.
That is true.
But so people again,
And so when you touch it, because the person with the right side of him, three person, and all of them come from the same place. The person they right with him with that paradigm shift is Popcorn. So you see that now you can see how it, from the start how influential he has been as a musical artist on the music alongside with Black Rhino and Javintry. Because almost everybody who came on and wanted to sing J, it was inspired by Javintry. Anybody who had that melodic type of flow type, it's that Black Rhino Popcorn, you know. So
truthfully, Ghost used to have that little I mean, I want to say singing, but Ghost was more like a singer.
Yeah, he's a singer. Soulful, very soulful.
So Ghost was just missing that little harshness because he likes the songs.
And he never really, I don't really
dance
more like
reggae as well as But people again, so just for clarification, we are looking at cultural impact. We're looking at global impact.
Commercial impact.
These are the, I want to say, paradigms in a sense that we're using, are the criteria that we're using to judge who should be given the King of Dancehall. Again, I'm not being like totally definitive in stating
and also you're not overlooking the fact that there were a lot of kings along the journey. Of us being here in dancehall, because dancehall is relatively a new genre. It came after all the roots rock, the rock steady, the dub. You get me, the reggae. So it come directly after the reggae. You get me. So still fairly new, but a lot of individuals who have impact this new wave.
Can remind people, a king can even reign for maybe just a year. A king can reign for a month.
Because you get the pause.
You can't.
That is dancehall.
You cannot say. You cannot just I want to say delineate kingship based on years, because the years that I've been doing this, I should be getting the king. No,
because we're not look on the longevity, you know. Because Jamaicans are gonna say, yeah man, Beenie Man, you're there a long time, much years. But watch out, how many man say have a hit song?
When last year hit song for me?
Yeah, we are see you when you perform on the stage. If you go on stage show, you're gonna shell it. You're probably gonna always be the best performer on any stage show.
But when last culturally,
you have a hit
song. Like I'm talking like now within this new space that come up. It's been here since we have a song.
So that the individual that people are gonna argue. You see me say, I'm gonna say yes, the longevity is admirable, yes.
Yes, but it cannot be the only criteria that we're going to use, or it cannot be the most important criteria on the bucket list either. You see me I say, yes, we're going to talk about commercial success, because again, Shaggy Shampoo commercially, nobody has outdone them yet within the space. I'm not going to say they will never.
Yeah.
Because I'm hopeful that the younger generation, they're learning and adapting their style in order to reach the global commercial success they like them. So, you know.
But as you say that right now, and I like how you reach there, because for me, like, you speak of the Popcorn, the mascot. For me, Skilly Bang is like one of them, is that individual the way you just describe him for me. Because he has over time seen dancehall for what it is internationally. He has took on to those characteristics and has done it pretty well.
Yeah, so for me, there was a time when Skinny was king.
Yeah, we got good 2 years.
Yeah. Again, your reign doesn't have to be until present. Isn't it? But we're talking about kings that came. Isn't it? But I'm going to go a little bit definitive right now. Again, only by criteria we are used. It's not just longevity, we're on commercial success, we're on cultural impact, and we're on global impact. You see what I say? Yes. Yeah, because remember, but we can say it's been a minute since Shaggy about Islam. But still, he's known commercially.
Even still can go to Europe and sell 10,000 festival, 10,000 people. Same way.
So now that we've been through all of these, I want to say people, artists that we list. He said from a more local perspective, it is teacher. Or I want to say a cultural perspective. Let me not say local. Want of a better word, that was my bad. From a more cultural perspective, it is teacher. For me, right now, I think a popcorn has been reigning for the past few years up until present. I mean, not just the cultural impact that Papi has had, but you can also see his global success, even when he collaborated with Drake. As in, that's it.
But in that same breath, from Massacre Drop, me no look class, me no me darkest. He no nothing more. Drop after that is not it,
Massacre.
Yeah.
Real?
Like, and how much years that? Like, pre-Massacre. Not when Massacre Drop is not that it. Like, those meds it.
If you're messing with you, when I talk about like a global hit, because I remember hits different, isn't it? Hits resonate differently. Yeah, you can have a commercial hit, but you can also have a cultural or more diaspora hit.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Caribbean hit. You can have a song that hits within the Caribbean, but it doesn't transcend and go to the international. Isn't it? My dog sell whites now in a coffee store, 70. I mean, we classify that as a hit in dancehall. Isn't it? Me no mix and mingle. That's a cultural hit. But has Miss and Mingle transcend the culture yet? No, it has not. You see what I'm saying? So, again, Massacre is an honorable mention for the King of Dancehall from a more cultural perspective. Isn't it?
So you can argue that he's the individual who can match up with a Vybz Kartel right now in terms of culturally shifting the paradigm, in terms of if lyrically, and this doesn't have to be a clash. If lyrically, the music, the quality of music and the moves them with them and make locally, internationally, it's just like propelling dancehall, isn't it? It's only those two individuals who right now probably can shape the culture in that manner with music.
I know that will be controversial, because there's an artist who I feel like said, he's been slept on.
Yeah, man.
They were calling him people, see me?
Him, man.
You know how we ever say?
Him, man.
People, before we even say, right, one put it there. Yeah, his name has not yet been mentioned. Whatever we can figure out to be attack. You see? Again, Chronic Law. Chronic Law is also, for me, Chronic Law is also one of those honorable mentions as being the present King of Dancehall. And this is my justification for it. Not only has he had the most streams as a dancehall artist, YouTube, Spotify, his form of music and cultural impact as a dancehall therapist. From a diaspora level, we are pre. As I said, Chronic has not yet broken internationally. He has not done that international hit where, propelling on the big scene. As yet. But currently, for me, maybe Chronic is dancehall king.
That's very arguable. Because also, just like the thing with Massacre, him only drop a song that is not that. It's not it when I resonate
with the culture. So people, we technically not draw the podcast too much. I'm having a lot of fun just talking about this. There are many more topics to come.
Yeah, man.
There will be giveaways on this channel.
Yeah, man. But with that said, we want to know if we keep the conversation going on.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And if y'all want us to do a part 2 to this,
yeah, man.
leave it in the comment section. If we get maybe over 20 people saying, give me a part 2 to this particular topic, we will, and this time it will be really research based.
Yeah, man. We are come with the facts. Yes, we also come with the files. Yes,
we are coming with files. We are coming with receipts.
Yes.
We are coming with receipts, people. So if there's any names that we've forgotten, I mean, it wasn't intentional, isn't it? Because I know some people open their feelings, isn't it? Isn't it? I was like, everybody knows the artist, you know. Yeah. But we have to look on the impact.
Man, I say what about anthems?
Anthems. Bad artist too. If there's a good artist, as I say, Raja Wild.
Good artist.
Good artist too. As I say, Raja Wild. Skeng. You know what I'm saying?
But wait there, you know, we think we John on, and we are come to an end, but we jump over a serious name still.
Who that?
We just skip past it.
Who skip past? Damn it!
We just a break back. And lift up over one part. But if we don't want to hear what I say about Tommy, anybody else, man, just know say, man, just drop a comment.
Drop a comment. Again,
part 2.
If we get over 20 comments saying part 2, a part 2 is coming. I'm going to attack research back. Research driven, facts, file a read up.
Yeah, man.
That way I'm going to do. Over there upon the friend starting. Yeah, man.
Legacy, we are benchmark.
Yeah, man. Blast, yeah, man. Blast off like exhaust. But go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Stay tuned for part 2. My bro, I really enjoy talking, I swear.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
God will,
bro, man.
Yes, man.
Oh, TR.
Friend star. Right, man.